All right, my good peoples. Lightning round. Let's get into it. Jaz-O. Love this beat. Primo beat. So, I saw Jaz-O was on Vlad TV. It's an interesting interview so far. It's okay. It's not like anything too crazy. I haven't really learned anything that I didn't know before, to be honest with you. Although him being in the cult was kind of a bit of a revelation, but you know, Jaz-O got some joints, man. People always forget, you know, some of these guys, like again, they might not be on the level of a Jay-Z or a Nas or whatever. That doesn't mean that they were whack, you know what I'm saying? And as a hip-hop fan, you should dig and, you know, try to listen to at least a couple of their songs, right? Moving on. The Kid. That beat's crazy, huh? Palace, ASAP. We always knew ASAP was going to be a star. I mean, I did anyways, but, you know, it was kind of obvious to me in a lot of ways. But, you know, it's interesting to see him get all this love now because, like I said, he used to get a lot of hate, man. You know, I used to tell people that Rocky was that guy from this generation. I would get hate, so, you know, it is what it is, man. But it's good to see Rocky doing this damn thing. I just wish the music would come out because, again, to me, I'm a music dude, so I just want to hear some dope new music. That song, Snot, Doja with Snot and ASAP, that ain't it, man. That ain't it, you know. Snot's not that good. I mean, I checked out a couple of his songs. I don't really care for it. It's that Cole Bennett type of rap, you know what I'm saying? It's here today, gone tomorrow. I haven't heard anything from him that makes me go, yeah, this is a real superstar. He's just doing the formula like everyone else. Except he's lucky that ASAP happened to co-sign it on some level, I guess. But hey, we'll see. You know, we'll see. Maybe Snot's got better stuff in the works, but that Doja, that shit ain't it, man. Moving on. This was kind of an underground record. I don't think most people know the song. Dres was on Drink Champs recently. I actually really liked his interview. I didn't see all of it, but I saw most of it. And he was speaking some real shit about Pac in general and just kind of talking his thing. He was very candid, and I appreciate that. Pretty decent, huh? Dres, he's alright, man. He's alright. I mean, I don't know Dres's material too tough, to be honest with you, but I only know this song, Choice Is Yours. And I tried to listen to a Wolves in Sheep's Clothing way back in the day, man. I can't remember how long ago. It must have been like 15 years ago. And I thought it was cool, but I wasn't drawn to it super tough. So anyways, but Dres is respected. I mean, he is somebody who's done some stuff in this rap shit. So, again, you know, people in the comment section, when he was talking about Pac's stance was like, I've never heard of this guy. How dare he hate on Pac? How could he, you know, casual shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, a lot of rap casuals on the internet these days, man, giving their opinions on shit they don't know nothing about and shouldn't even be speaking on. You know what I mean? So the point is that Dres's sort of interview was pretty candid, and I like that. His explanation for sort of Pac's behavior, I think, is something that a lot of people don't really talk about, but I think is important because, again, Pac is kind of like the predecessor to a lot of this clout-chasing, violent rap that we get now, you know, where people try to live out their raps, literally, right? It's like, you know, I'm a gangbanger on wax, and then I'm a gangbanger in real life, and obviously that shit only ends up in two scenarios, either dead or in jail. It's pretty dumb, right? And so, and I think it's important for people to call that stuff out, right? And Pac in particular was pretty, you know, silly in a way because he didn't grow up in that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't a gangbanger, you know, by nature. He was almost a gangbanger by choice, and that's kind of the pathetic part about it all. Again, great rapper, nothing, you know, that I could say bad about Pac. Pac was a good rapper. He wasn't the greatest rapper. He wasn't necessarily somebody that you would say on the mic was as skilled as his peers at the time. But he wasn't whack either. You know what I'm saying? He was all right, but obviously the notoriety and, of course, you know, the passion that he had to a certain degree, and he had some great beats. And again, like I said, great beats can carry you a long way, man. Great beats, a great voice, and he does have those two things. That shit carries you a long way, right? And the notoriety is really what obviously put him ahead of his peers, and then on top of that, you know, led him to death. So, Dres has some real shit. Anyway, moving on. He also touched on Large Professor. I always liked this record. This is kind of an underground record from Large Pro back in the day. Done. You know what I'm saying? I always like this record. Very chill, you know. Insanity. His story about how, Dre's story about how Large Professor tried to play him out back in the day and stuff. You know, I mean, I'm glad he told it. Again, he was keeping it honest. He was being candid. And in that scenario, I would kind of say that I would love to hear Large Professor's side of it. It's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things, so it's kind of more like hip-hop chatter. But I think Dres was kind of overstepping a bit with that, because it's like, at the end of the day, man, if, you know, look, listen, I've approached people and been played out to a certain degree, right? Like, there's always going to be people that you approach and they don't give you the time of day that you would, you know, hope or desire. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you kind of go in on them or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's their decision. If they don't want to rock with you, they don't want to rock with you. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a kind of an interesting story, but I would like to hear Large Professor's side of it. Anyway, moving on. This song, it's okay. I wouldn't say that this is a great song necessarily. This is Browz. It's called Raiders. I heard this like recently, but I mean, it came out a couple years ago. Browz got some beats, man. You know? So I'm obviously just playing this because the instrumental, because of copyright and all that goofy shit. But check it out. It's called Raiders. It's alright. Moving on. And lastly, this joint. Yo, this is my joint, man. I've been playing this a lot. The song and the instrumental. You know what I mean? I think I posted this in the community section maybe a month ago or something like that. But I've been really listening to the song a lot. Like, it's just so dope. Like, the freaking everything. It's just genius. It's one of the best Nas songs. Like, when people talk about the best Nas song that's like not on Illmatic, you gotta put the song. This is top 10 to me. Like, that's not on Illmatic, top 10. Probably. Might even be top 5. I love the chorus flip. Like, the way Primo flipped this beat for the chorus. Dumb. And then the way he's like, you know, when I flow for the street, the scratch vocals, all that shit is brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of something you don't really think about, but again, why I say that Primo is arguably the greatest hip-hop producer ever, right? Because the scratch choruses, it's like, it weaves and ties in a lot of hip-hop history, right? And that's the intellectual side of Primo that I always really liked, right? So when you're hearing a scratch chorus, you're like, oh, where did they get that from? Like, you know, you might have already heard the record, but sometimes, especially as a new listener, that's why I recommend Primo, because those scratch choruses, he's scratching them for a reason, and they're usually really dope tracks, you know? So it's like, think about it. You're making a song, you got a Primo beat, and then Primo's like, okay, let me think about other songs that remind me of this person's vibe and sort of mental capacity, things like that, right? So you're getting like almost like Rakim and Kane and some of these great rappers, or even if it's just Dub C or someone, right, that's kind of chiming into the subject matter you're saying through the scratch chorus. It's really smart shit, right? So anyway, love this record. Give it a listen. Peace.